Hi everyone, how are you doing? Don't hear from you guys. Come on, gotta get into the comments there. I know probably everyone's bummed out with the world and your own lives and all, but the best way to cure that is to get involved. It really is, believe me. But anyhow, I hope you got a chance to watch my cooking. What did I title it? I don't remember. Do you remember what the title was, Polly? No. It was the last video I did. So it was on Monday, there's my thumb again. Monday, hi. I'm Sandy Mom's thumb. Okay, we got that over with. It was about cooking back in the day, on a channel I used to watch, and Margaret put up a really great comment. A lot of things that, I could have thought of more things, but I was more talking about the channel. But they're very interesting about how people, back in the day when I was talking about depression, the depression years, the 10 years, 1929 to 1939, how people had to live and how horrible it is, and how I feel we're heading for that. In fact, I watched some of these prepper channels, and some of them you just can't really watch. It's almost like the news. You can't watch the news, but, they're like, I forgot, one said, let's see, what was this? They said, you don't have the money to put in your car, to get the gas, to get to the store, to buy the food that you can't afford. And there was a third thing. I don't remember. But anyhow, we all understand, right? We all know gas is a lot. And I talk about that gas. Of course, I'm fortunate. Well, not fortunate, but, I don't have to drive distances. And I forgot to tell you guys, I finally did get a battery in my car. There will be another vlog, but, it's still, I can't trust it to drive because I don't know if that's the real problem. And in the heat that we have with me not being able to sweat and cool down, I can't trust it. But anyhow, back to the subject at hand. So, people nowadays, everyone's used to everything's quick. You throw it in the microwave. I know someone who refuses to use a microwave. They say they're dangerous, so they don't use a microwave. And we're just so used to doing that. I prefer not to, but like in the summer, I don't turn on my oven at all. Now, this summer, I'm not even going to cook on the stove. I just cannot heat the house at all. And I have an electric stove. I don't like gas stoves, but electric stoves stay warm. I did see in someone's video, in fact, I think it was the one that Margaret gave me a name of a channel, which actually I've watched her channel a few times. Very interesting, and I'm sorry I forgot the name, but you can look on my last video. I pinned Margaret's comment. But anyhow, she had a thing in her kitchen. It looked like a big microwave, and I think she said she's going to put the oven, her little oven, on microwave. So I wish I had one. Well, they probably cost a fortune, but wouldn't that be neat? It's not big. It's bigger than a toaster oven. It's like those things that are like toaster ovens, and not deep fryers, where the air fryers. But anyhow, wouldn't that be great? Because I've seen them before. Like, they have stuff, there'll be another subject, but they have on Facebook stuff on Amazon. You don't even know what it is. There's something else I was going to talk about. So I always look it up, but I saw some that you can cook a full chicken and it doesn't heat up the house. Gosh, that would be something would be great to have. But anyhow, so we're used to, quick, people order out, people go out and get the orders, fast food, everything's quick. And on this subject, I'm going to veer off again. I am a person who is a quick person. Like, I was just watching another video, and they were saying they can't stand, I'm not that way. I can't stand, I don't care what other people do, but this person said, I can't stand when people are slow, or I can't stand when that person themselves, when it takes long in a grocery store, or someone eats slow, or blah, blah, blah. I don't really care what other people do. You do you, boo, and I do me. But I'm also the same way, like, if something's slow, because I'm used to going fast. That's just my personality. It's probably because I had so many children. So, when I went to the grocery store, I wanted to get in and out, because the longer you stay, the more kids you have, the more stuff they're looking at. But they all knew it doesn't go in the cart unless it's on sale. but they weren't ones to just throw stuff in the cart. But back to what I was talking about. So we're just used to easy, even cooking, stuff. What you guys? Oh, easy. Like ramen. I love ramen. There goes my thumb. I'm sorry. Just add water. Even these. Well, back in the day they had a cup of soup, but I saw it, not anymore. But just add water. Sorry, I have a dry cough. But anyhow, it's not a dry cough. I have a dry mouth that makes me cough. But anyhow, so people don't appreciate things that we have now because, like she said, you really should look at her comment about back in the day. People had to go out to get water and bring it in the house, and she was talking about outhouses people had. And I don't think my family had outhouse anywhere, but I know they had to get water, and if you don't have water, you can't flush the toilet. And I found that out, I think, when I don't know, when we lost power. I don't know what happened, but I remember we had to pour water in the tank to flush it. That was like a big, oh my gosh. And I remember once when my washer broke, and the second there, Mr. Wonderful, wouldn't buy a new one or pay to fix it. That was back when we were together. And oh my gosh, it was horrible. I was washing stuff in the bathtub, and then once the dishwasher broke, and I don't mind washing dishes. I personally love it, but there's when you have three at the time, we had 3 kids, so there was just 5 of us compared to before when there were more of us. But still, it's something you don't count on. But the worst thing is when my washer broke. That was horrifying, because we're so used to a washing machine. And because I would go over to one of my son's house, wash the clothes. I would dry some while I'm washing the others, but then I'd bring the wet ones home. The dryer worked. So, we're used to all these luxuries. We're back in the day. I saw pictures of machines. They were like round. I like to look up old things, things from other eras. It was like round, and it had like a wringer. And then you have also, I forgot the word. You like put your clothes, you scrub it up, and I don't know what it's called now. It's just a thing that got little bumps in it, and you go up and down with your clothes. I don't know, but anyhow, so we're used to all these comforts, and I think people can't wrap their heads around what is happening. I don't know, if anyone's gone to the grocery store or even ordered Instacart, you can tell things are getting worse and worse. Like when I put my order in for Instacart, I put everything in my cart or whatever it's called. Then I look through it. Well, then I see the price and I'm like, nope, don't need this. No, it would be like nice to have this, but no. And it's terrible when you need spices because they're a fortune. I mean, I used to get my spices at Costco, and you get a big one, it lasts a long time. But and the thing is, when you so I cut down my list in half. I think I mentioned this before. And then half the stuff they don't have. The other day I had my favorite shopper, and they haven't had the pudding in a long time that Polly and I used to crush our medicine in, and plus I give it to him to eat more calories. But he's like, I just put 2 puddings, and he says, are you sure you only want 2? Like, he already knows me. And I'm like, well, if they have it. And she shows me a picture, and I says, okay, I'll get a few more. Now, I would have liked to get more, and if I could have afforded it, I would have, because that day was $1.39, which they used to be 99 cents. So, I mean, that is a big jump, but who knows next week. I forgot what it was I was going to say. Example, I looked at something one day. I always look every day on Instacart just checking prices, and something went up over $2. So, but people don't realize, I think that's why they're having a hard time wrapping their heads around what's going on, how you have to, how they say, gardens, and a lot of people have chickens, and, it'd be great to have all that, but, they're not used to all that. They, I don't know, did they not have parents that lived through it, or grandparents? And I wish my mom was alive. I'm sure she I was trying to think when she was born, so she lived through some of it, but I don't know. I think because they had to run away from their country and go to Canada. I don't know if that was a highlight of their, not a highlight, but you know what I mean? There's so many things in her life. But I wish there was someone we could talk to, like I had a parent left or grandparent. I remember once I used to volunteer in a lot of groups, and I did a lot of groups and support groups and stuff. There was a group where this guy, he said he met, I don't know if I could say the name, but he was a dictator. Not that I would want to meet a dictator, but it was very interesting to hear his story. I remember the guy, his name was, the older gentleman, he told me he was like 90-something. He said, "My name is Carl with a K, so you'll always remember it." And I always remembered. But it was interesting to hear the stories of old. And when I was a Cub Scout leader, I used to bring my kids to, we found old people who would love to have, young kids come over and they would tell us stories. But, just to think of, just even, unless something happens, like I said, I don't know what happened where we couldn't flush the toilet. Oh, I think they had to shut the main line off in the road. And then you have to get water and put it in. And like I said, when you don't have a washer or a dishwasher or, microwave, then you realize. And then, oh man, do I really appreciate it, because at least in my lifetime, I did not have to live through, well, we didn't have a dishwasher. My mom had nothing, she just had the main. She had a spot in her house that she had built, a spot for a dishwasher that she never put in. In my first marriage, I wanted to buy her one because we had money then. She wouldn't let me. She liked washing dishes, and of course, just with the two of them, they didn't really need it, but I thought it'd be nice for her. But I just think that's why people just think, oh, well, I got this and that, but you know what, now when things cost so much, and I'm always careful, about, like, leaving lights on. In fact, now the light over my stove burned out, and I went to look on Instacart to buy a light bulb. It's 25 watt, just regular size bulb, is $9.09. $9.09 for a light bulb? There's no way. I can't afford that. So, I don't know. When I figure out my car, I'm going to have to try to drive to Walmart, because I'm sure, well, if they have this other thing, will they have it? But if you have any stories to share that you've heard from your family about years ago when they didn't have all the things, and they had like the stove where they cooked on, it was a wood stove, they would cook on there. It kind of reminds me, what's this show, Little House on the Prairie, maybe? I don't think I watched it. Or the Waltons. I know my ex-husband, the first one, watched Waltons, and I think they had like a stove, wood stove you cook on, and that's how you warmed your house. Again, another thing, people didn't have heat, they had wood stoves. But if you know any stories, if you'd like to share them, because I do find them very interesting. And if you, like I said in another video, do you make any things like my mom did? She could make a cake out of whatever, ingredients you have at home: flour, sugar, baking soda, baking powder, eggs, whatever, just whip it together. And usually apples she made, but even without apples, just some sugar. Do you have any, do you do that? It's just interesting to, different times, like the Roaring 20s and the, the 50s. Those are some of the ones I like. Like I said, I went to college, and some of my electives were classes like that, so it's very interesting. But yeah, if you have any stories about those times, let me know. And do you watch any of those prepper channels? Some of them you gotta watch out. They just make you more scared than you should be. But I think we should realize that, things are disappearing, and in my case, I'm not able to, stock up, because when someone else controls your income, you're screwed, basically. And I'm not gonna lie, I am stressed about it, because I'm a person who always had, one thing was food. We always made sure we had food, because I grew up poor, and I always swore we would never live that way. But now things are getting out of hand. I can't even believe, like I say, the prices of stuff. It's another example I was going to tell you. But how are your prices in the stores? Are they getting high? And I'm going to be doing another video about something to do with prices in stores, and if you've noticed that. But for now, any kind of stories you have to share from that era, or if your parents or grandparents share it with you. Or if you have your parents alive, if you can ask them about it, if they have any stories, how they lived or their parents lived, you know, without the conveniences of what we have, you know. Of course, then there's cell phones and all that. And I think there's a show called Green Acres, something like that, and they had to climb up a telephone pole to make a phone call, and they had to be connected with an operator or something. I don't know, I just like learning about different kind of eras. So let me know if you have any stories. So for now, don't forget to subscribe. Welcome to the new subscribers. Thank you to the people that have been around for a long time. And I'm glad you're here. I hope you stay. I hope you subscribe. And please hit the like button. It really helps grow my channel. Be kind to people. You don't know what they're going through, but we're all going through, I call it one thing. It's more than one, but it's under umbrella of one thing. All together under this big blue sky, we're all suffering through the same one. Well, it's more than one. It's not just the food. It's the financial. I mean, if people have stock, it's a bull market, which is not good. There was another elective class I took, which is really, really interesting. I learned about stocks, the bull market, the bear market, and all that, but not looking good. And it's all the signs that are going toward it's just getting worse and worse. And, you know, the price of gas and all. And this is not to scare you. It's just saying, you know, this is interesting stuff to me. But it's also, if you're able to get stuff now, you know, the people, like I always say, who have more freezers and fridges, and they could get it, like I tried explaining to Polly's father, you know, when flour was 99 cents, you could get it for 99 rather than $4 or $5, whatever it is now. But you can't get that through his head because, you know, and he has a bunch of money and just does what he wants. But, you know, if stuff is cheap, a lot of people I see, they buy cases, which, you know, I don't know if that's a good idea because then there's not enough for everyone. But anyhow, you get my drift, what I'm saying. It's just an awful feeling for me personally not to know that I'm not prepared. But it's out of my hands. But anyhow, share any stories you have. I tried to order a thing of peas. I didn't have any peas because I want to make that recipe. So watch that video about the one on the 20th, Monday the 20th. And guess what? Today's the first day of summer, so welcome to summer. I dread it. I don't want it. I'm not going to get through it. So be kind to yourself. Do something nice for yourself. And thanks for stopping by.